She may contain the urge to run away, but hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blocks.
Yes. For example, Blurred Lines, which is basically a song about rape, is one of the most popular songs ever that everyone knows if you mention it to them, and nobody really knows what it's about. And try and tell people, and they're like, nah, it's still a good song. And you're like, no, it's really not. And that's just an example. Like, there are so many songs that are similar to that one that don't get called out.
What was that song? Yeah, Blurred Lines, and how sexualized the video itself is, and then the actual message. You know, people can sing along to it. So I actually saw this really cute stop motion video of like a wedding party to that song, and I was like, wedding and the message of the song. And I think a lot of times people, you know, they don't actually consciously hear the lyrics, right?
Okay, now he was close, tried to domesticate you, but you're an animal, baby, it's in your nature, just let me liberate you, you don't need no papers, that man is not your maker, and that's why I'm gonna take a good girl, I know you want it, I know you want it, I know you want it.
So you're going to be attracted to it because of the structure of the music. There's something about it that's got, it's the beat, it's the melodies, it's the chords, it's harmonies, all that stuff. But because of that, that can sometimes mask the lyric. So there are lyrics in some music that is not messages that I think I would agree with, and that I don't think people sometimes who seem to love the music haven't really thought about it. And I didn't really think always about what the meaning of what those words were. And certainly you see there's a lot of popular music that has people who are not very well respected, or like gender issues, right, or racial issues, or, you know, things where there are people who are being kind of oppressed, you know, a lot of sexist things, and still I'm so surprised how much of it is still around in, you know, the year now 2014, and yet I see kids, and then I know that I teach and stuff, who will sing these songs that they're so catchy and so cute, and then you think, hang on, that's saying something nasty about girls. And then I might know a little girl is singing the song, and I know it's not because she believes that stuff. She probably just hasn't even thought about what the words mean.
I think words are powerful because music has the relationship it does with the people who listen to it. I think that, you know, where I was saying how some artists really use their art form to promote social change, issues of social justice, things like that. I think likewise, there's a flip side of that coin, is that there are artists who operate on the lowest common denominator in terms of working on stereotypes, working on preconceptions, working you know, in a very divisive way with issues of race or gender equality or so on.
I was just thinking about this last night. So I have a little bit of a problem with young people listening to music with a whole bunch of swear words, or some music that has a bad message kind of thing. But a lot of kids like it because it sounds nice, because like the melodies are nice, you know, the lyrics.
We have to be careful about our music because it will shape a generation. It will define a generation. You know, and all of this, you know, you think of the drug use and the other things that are glorified, but often by rock stars. And when I say glorified, I just simply mean even talked about, like it's nothing. As you think back to Elvis Presley, right? Elvis Presley, banned by parents. Kids cannot listen to this music. This is terrible music, right? What do we think about Elvis's music today? Iconic, right? Iconic. And generally speaking, right? Iconic. Same thing with the Beatles. Don't listen to them. They're going to make your kids turn into hooligans. So has music incited social change? In those two instances, absolutely. Have they changed the way people dress, the way people talk, the way people, you know, it's changed everything. So should we be aware when we see all of these songs coming out now with swearing and sexual content and challenging authority and stuff? Well, sure, these are all things that happen. They've happened for forever in history, but
Yeah, I think with anything as consumers, we should consume critically, right? If I'm trying to be really mindful in the world and have a social justice framework and be kind and caring, the things that I consume should reflect that as well, right? So I can't go and volunteer and do really well and then turn on music that's misogynist or, really sexualized.
Because music does resonate on such a personal level with people that I think that it can be a very dangerous and damaging influence in society. I don't believe in being a passive consumer of art, whether it's a movie, a TV, a song, a painting. I think when you sort of say, well, it just sounds good, it's fun to dance to, and whatever they're saying is irrelevant, I think you miss bigger truths, which is that art can, in the same way, be a very powerful tool for creativity and positivity and social justice. It can be the negative of all those things as well.
So maybe it's our job as listeners to demand from the artist, I want a certain moral ground to not be breached in my music I listen to. So I think the consumer has that choice. Kind of like buying organic. When you buy organic, you make a choice to the people that produce food saying, I want this type of food. If we as consumers make the choice to buy, let's say, music without explicit lyrics or without certain types of messages, then that will eventually filter up to the artists and the producers, and maybe they will get that message that people value a certain type of music message, I guess. It is tough. Do you pick music based purely on the beats and the sounds, or do you pick it on the message? I think this has to be a balance of those two things.